Welcome. Be my guest. So grab a cup of tea and let me show you what I would like to see in the next installment of the Dragon Age franchise. In Dragon Age Inquisition, the player has for the most part 3 different dialogue options, and sometimes even more, depending on our class or age, which is good, because it allows us to roleplay more and create a lot of different characters. In previous BioWare games, like Mass Effect 3 or Andromeda, there are scenes where the player has no control about the dialogue. In the beginning of Mass Effect 3, Shepard just wants to stay on Earth. Something my Shepard would not do. My Shepard would go to the Citadel. Of course, these scenes look more cinematic, but because of that, there's a risk that your character will say something really stupid. In Andromeda, Ryder has for the most part just 2 dialogue options, and there, Ryder tries to be funny or is just weird, which is the reason I played the game just twice. Because it doesn't feel like my created character, and if I have to play a character that I don't like or don't care for, I don't really want to play the game. There are exceptions, where Ryder has more choice. For example in this scene, where we can interact with these soldiers. Is Ryder honest with them, cheerful, or just very anxious? We are in control, and the game definitely needed more scenes like that. When I played Andromeda, I wanted to create a character that starts shy and anxious, only to become power hungry, but Andromeda doesn't allow you that. In Inquisition, we have many possibilities how to play our character, so I wish that Dragon Age 4 will be similar to Inquisition when it comes to the dialogue options. In Inquisition, the conversation camera was not very cinematic like it used to be in Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect. It's probably because of the Frostbite engine, and I hope BioWare can fix this, because in older games every conversation with an NPC felt important, as if you watch an interactive movie. It added so much to the game. In Inquisition on the other hand, well, it's like an MMO. The conversations just don't feel that important anymore. So, without the conversation camera, most side quests were already not that interesting, and it didn't help that most of them were fetch quests. In Origins, the quests were far more unique, like remember that rhyming tree, and you can ask him, why can you rhyme? And he's like, why not to rhyme? Or I see someone crying, and when I ask him, what's wrong? Like that one dwarven lady that's like, can you find my son in the deep roads? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I will go to the deep roads for you, to find your son. And then you find him, and he's all nuts. So you go back and tell her, your son is gone. He was weak and foolish like his father. So I destroyed him. And she's like, oh, thank you. Here, take his useless shit that you will probably sell in a minute. But yeah, that quest was still fun. You know why? Because of the cinematic camera and no MMO-like quest design. Hopefully Dragon Age 4 side quests will look more like they did in Origins. In Inquisition, we don't have many options to be evil. There are some, but in my opinion not enough. I would like to create a cruel ruler that everyone fears, like in this picture, where both Cassandra and Lyanna hate themselves for serving you. that's a feature that needs to come back. And if there is going to be a Dragon Age 5, why not make our character from Dragon Age 4 the next antagonist? Just some random idea, you know. Forget about the multiplayer, it just doesn't work. Focus on single player stuff. Make 2 or 3 big expansions. And one idea that I have for the live service part is that it would be like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they would release every 2 weeks or every month one new quest. And that worked very well, because there was always a reason to come back to the game after a time. By doing so, we could have more quests from the Dragon Age Keep. Like, let's visit Osama to see how Balan rules over the city, or what's going on in Denerim with Alistair or Anora, depending on your choices.
Inquisitor, bei Andrastes Hittern, was bin ich froh, euch zu sehen.
In Dragon Age 4, we will finish what the Inquisitor started. It was our Inquisitor that realized that Solus is the Dread Wolf. Since the Inquisitor lost his hand in Trespasser, he or she will probably not be a party member. But the Inquisitor could still play a role as an advisor, just like Colin, Josephine or Liliana. It would make a lot of sense if our new hero would work for our Inquisitor. And what I would love to see is that our one-armed hero is going to be a mentor for our new character. I also believe that the story of the Inquisitor should end in Dragon Age 4. The Inquisitor could die a heroic death, or perhaps run away with Solus to live a happy life. And after that, we can focus on new stories. Oh, and one more thing, the hero of Ferelden, bring him to me in Dragon Age 4. Some call him Solus, others call him the Dread Wolf, and some of us call him Kinderüberraschungsei. So Kinderüberraschungsei will return, we know that. The question is, will he be the only antagonist, or is there something else, something so powerful that in the end we will have to team up with Kinderüberraschungsei to defeat a bigger threat? In Origins, we could recruit Logain. Perhaps Bava will let us do the same in Dragon Age 4. What I would like to do is to decide Fenrir's fate. Some of us want to kill him, some want to marry him, and then there are people who want to do both. What do you think? Can we redeem Solus? And what is it that you want in the next Dragon Age franchise? I'm looking forward to have some real talk with some real folks.